Hello, ANSHU-Sharma here. Welcome and my love to all of you. Where will your complaining take you? Negative emotions come into everyone's life. But instead of looking and finding a solution, many people simply resort to complaining. These days, with social media, more people are aware, more they entertain complaining because there's plenty to complain about. Complaining is one of ego's favorite strategies to strengthen itself. If you are not conscious, soon complaining may become your habit. You start applying mental labels to people, communities, and nations. Name calling and gossip are many people's favorite pastimes. Unconsciously, they get a fleeting sense of satisfaction and a superiority complex. Elated, they prove to themselves, I am not like that. I am right in my position, in my concepts, and in my ideas. I know better and I am superior to others. When this thinking rules our mind, we complain about others and not accept them as they are. So, unknown to themselves, people are being entangled in an increasing web of their own making. This web of mental conditioning that will amplify making their enemies if they continue to complain. We will see how. If you are not conscious, your complaining increases. And now you are experiencing a bigger emotion of resentment. You have made complaining and resentment your identity. Even people around you start saying, so and so is always complaining, or she is always gossiping about others, talking negative things about people. This mental pattern of fault finding increases. The fault may or may not lie in others, but through your own mental projection, you see it and you find it. In some cases, it is likely that someone has made a mistake, and in that case, you may simply point that mistake to that other person's notice and bring it to him. But instead of doing that, you carry someone else's mistake for years and keep complaining what so and so did to you. And when you keep repeating those mistakes, you keep them alive. Not only to yourself, but even you spread that negativity to others as well. So, how ridiculous, something happened in the past one time, and now through repeated complaining, you are keeping it alive in your mind. If you are not conscious, through mental conditioning, you start projecting and seeing more enemies outside because your vision has changed. Your ego takes delight in proving to yourself you are right. In that situation, you were right and the other person was wrong. Ego's amplification and mental patterns focus, or they keep focusing on fault finding rather than seeing the other person in totality with his talents and specialities. In my book, Freedom in Life, available on Amazon and also is also available on my website. And also in my course on emotional integration, I have given many practical strategies to understand, recognize, and deal with this egoic uh, mental programming within us. I have made this course free for all. If you like and you feel the benefit, you can leave some donations through your heart. But deal with your emotions and stop complaining. Every person is a whole universe with infinite energies coming and going. Every minute, every second, there is a new version of ourselves. Resentment is often the emotion that goes with complaining. And with resentment, what happens? You start feeling bitter, you start feeling offended, and before you know, you are in a full blown, bigger emotion of anger, upset, and withdrawal, and even separation from that person you are complaining about. You do not want to know that person, you do not want to talk to him. Anger is a highly charged emotion, taking control over you and making you reactive. Anger can cause serious relationship problems, and sometimes it can cause serious emotional and even physical abuse to others and also to ourselves. A long-standing resentment can turn into a grievance. A grievance is even a bigger negative emotion which we carry. So now, do you see the journey we are taking? From simple complaining to gossiping to feeling resentment to feeling negative emotions to anger, and then if you do not stop here, then it becomes a full-blown grievance. Personal and family grievances become karmic and can filter down into our generations. Collective grievances can survive for centuries. Where? In the psyche of people, in the psyche of a nation. People make sure, those who are suffering from grievances, that they tell these stories, their victim stories, or the grievances they carry about certain people, about nation, or about other communities to the next generation, to their own children. And some go even to extent that they involve the next generation in their own grievances, keeping the fires of hatred and resentments alive. What we are seeing today is collective grievances carried by people, communities, religions, and even nations. When we meet a person belonging to a particular religion or nation, We are happy and cordial in our relationship. Yet, we carry the national bias or grievances towards others belonging to the same nation or a religion. Ego influences with past stories and contaminates in the way you speak, behave towards others, and create enemies. Your perspective changes when you view people with the lens of your past conditioning. So if that lens is contaminated with hatred, this is how you project and see people with that vision. Or the person may or may not be at fault, or maybe it is likely he or she would have done something in the past. But like we have said, he's no more the same person now. So, but in your deception and illusion, ego makes you think, I'm right. And in being right, there is an automatic assumption someone else is wrong. You are superior, you know better. Parents do this all the time to their children, polluting their innocent minds with their own negativity, resentments, and grievances. It requires honesty to see whether you still harbor grievances, resentments, and complaints. If yes, do something about it. Take time and resolve your emotions. The good news is, through being conscious and aware, ego's hold over you will weaken. Every time you are aware that you are complaining or you are being resentful, you will stop reacting, and in a state of non-reaction, you can recognize yours and others' behavior coming from your ego. You can then practice resolving your issues. My book, Freedom in Life, available on Amazon, contains many strategies to spot and change egos working within. It is understandable when you are young, you do not have the experience, courage, or power to deal with people who are older than you. So, in order to relieve yourself, you choose to complain. Please know, empty complaining does not do any good. Make yourself aware next time you complain, and along with your complaint, add another sentence. Okay, I am complaining, but what can I do with this complaint? If it is just a mere trivial complaining such as the weather is not good, then I will be taking myself into resentment and other negative emotions, whereas I can do nothing about the weather. But if honestly you are not happy about the weather, you can do something about it. You can change to and start living elsewhere. But if that is not possible, there's no point complaining. So through complaining, you know that I will be taking myself into areas of resentment and other negative emotions unnecessarily. And if your complaint is justified, which it can be, then you will take a step towards dealing with your genuine issue. Invest time in educating yourself, reading books, talking to others, and learning how ego works. You can then make a support group for your emotional strength. You can take guidance from older and wiser people. If nothing else, you can simply pray and ask your higher self to intervene and come and relieve yourself of your pain and suffering regarding a particular issue. Through transformation, you can teach yourself a new behavior, and then old behavior gets replaced. Please stop taking things personally. You can start taking action in an assertive way. Most important, instead of useless complaining and idle gossiping, you start making a new habit of finding a solution. Even in the middle of a chaos or conflict, your mind will look for solution. You are training your mind from complaining to finding solutions and moving forward. That's all for today. Thanks for listening. Please leave your comments. In your comments, feel free to ask a question or mention a topic you will like to have more clarification on. I will try my best to serve you. I love you all. I request you to please get more people to subscribe, so more people get the benefit and more we spread the light. My sincere thanks to those who have already done it or who are already doing it. Thanks a lot. Because of your valued time, I am here. Lots of love. Take care. Bye. Till we meet again. Bye.